Hello world, this is Chris with Elevations, doing a very exciting unboxing here today. We just got another box in from Adafruit, a lot of great components we're going to be doing some experiments with. Looking forward to digging right in. So without further ado, let's open this box. There's a decent amount of stuff in here, so what's nice is we did get a slightly larger box than I usually get from Adafruit when I do my smaller orders. Something many of you may already know is if you do a large enough order, they do throw in some random free gifts along with it, so that's nice. It's usually nothing super special, but it's always nice to get a couple extra things, and sensors to play with are always extra fun. So let's open this box. Alright, right on top is all of the nice package material. Isn't that just beautiful? Alright, let's peel that off. As you can tell, there's lots of things hidden in here for us to play with. Alright. Tons of fun. I think what might be the easiest is to pull some of this off, set it to the side, and then start unpackaging all of these items individually. This is a real exciting one right here. Looking forward to that. Nice small battery. Oh, another fun project. This is going to be great. Alright, pull that off the side. And our packaging information. So, I will read off of that packaging information as we open these items up so we can make sure to get all the information correct. So the first thing that we have right here at the top is that large inductive coil. So it is a kit. It does come with the 10 wireless LEDs, so you can see that packaged right here. What's super cool about these is it is that inductive piece, so it does have that all built right in there. So this is a large wireless inductive power coil. And this smaller coil on the LED will essentially receive that power and power up that LED. Very exciting, very fun. So let's go ahead and open that up. So the first thing I'm going to pull out is the inductive coil itself. This is a 24 volt input, as I recall. 24 volt input to this coil. And this larger coil with that higher voltage does gives you a longer transmission range for that wireless power. So that is our coil. As you can see here, you just have a small amount of circuitry as well as a capacitor, the regulator, and then this is your input. It does come with this barrel, but obviously you can attach your power directly to the solder points if you'd like to do that more direct off of a power supply as opposed to the bullet type power supply. And that is the inductive coil. Setting that down inside of the bag, the nice part about the kit, now they do have lots of other LEDs that you can order that go with this kit. And we'll do a demonstration of how this works a little bit later, but you can choose packages of specific colors if you would like. So what you can see here is this is that package of LEDs that come in this kit. There's an array of colors. You can't entirely tell just by looking at it here, but again, this does have that inductive coil that receives that magnetic field from the transmission point and then does lighten up these LEDs. These are really cool for a lot of different types of projects. You can use them just to create some wireless power. You can use them, I've seen a lot of kits to put that into like LED kits in Lego Mindstorms or just in Lego systems itself. If you say have a little car or something, you want headlights, this will be working great for that. Again, you can buy packages of just blue, just yellow, just red, just white LEDs if you would like, but I wanted to go with a multiple array, and that also allow me to test the brightness of the different ones and see what I might want to do. There's lots of fun projects we can do with these fun little guys. Putting that back in the bag so we don't lose them all. Set that off the side. This is going to be the exciting one, but I'll hold that off a little later. Alright, what do we have here? This is a fun little development board. Helps to make things just a little bit easier when working with some of these feather units. This is the Grove shield for particle mesh. So the cool part about this is it does have those headers soldered directly on this. The Grove shield for FeatherWing for particle mesh and all feathers. So what that allows you to do is gives you some simple ways to plug stuff in. As opposed to working with the GPIO pins, this is essentially just a nice board for doing some tests, writing some test programs. You can pop your feather or your particle board directly into here and then use these output pins to be able to interact with different sensors, as opposed to having to use an actual breadboard or interacting or soldering directly to the feather GPIO pins. You can just simply plug in and out. Great way to do some prototyping. So a great little board there. Speaking of feather, this is a FeatherWing. So this is actually the GPS wing, the Adafruit Ultimate GPS wing. This is a nice low-cost wing that gives you some pretty accurate GPS at, again, a very economical price. So I do have the capability of doing stacking headers on here if you want. Now I did order this GPS wing with the battery as well as the standard headers. So you can see here, in essence, we'll just pop that on, solder those guys together, and then we have access to those pins. Again, since we're going to be soldering it directly to it, or potentially working with a breadboard, this is purely for prototyping, playing around, see what kind of accuracy I can get on that. Now, since we have that guy open, we might as well showcase the battery that it does come as an option. That is a low-cost lithium battery. There we are. So that is a CR1220. It's just a simple 3-volt battery that pops right in here. Gives you that really nice capability of having that battery backup. So if you do have a power loss or something to that chip will stay online without any issues. And then it does have a very, very small port here. See if we can get some focus. Maybe a little bit of focus. There, you do have the port there to actually connect to a pigtail and then have access to your active GPS antenna. So this is one of them. I did order a few of these. So this is the u.FL IPEX IP. So in essence right here, if you look at this small connection right here, this small connection will go to a standard SMA or RP SMA connection. And then from there, you can connect to the GPS antenna. That's pretty much standardized. You can do any active GPS antenna into that, and it'll give you a lot better reception of your satellites versus just the device itself. However, you can use the device itself without the antenna. You can certainly get a lot more accuracy and access to a lot more satellites if you do. Let's go ahead and set that off to the side. Next piece here we'll open up is another feather. This is another GPS feather. Actually, we'll just leave that in the bag since we already have one open. You saw that's the exact same thing right here. For the sake of it, since I'm prototyping and playing with things, I ordered 2. Let's go to this one next. This is one of my free gifts. Very excited about this. This is the Circuit Playground. So on the Circuit Playground, there's lots of different things that you can interact with. The Circuit Playground Express, and now it does have these different buttons. So these are momentary push buttons. It has an array of LEDs. Lots of fun stuff. So again, this is just a way to tinker around, kind of get used to writing code, understand what you want to do. It does have some pretty easy interfaces on the side there as well. So right here you can see this large array of LEDs. You can access all these. You can do a lot of different stuff. You can make them chase around. You can do a lot of fun stuff with that. Certainly a great add-on to any project or a way to do some instructions. Another one of these pigtails. Certainly great devices here. Okay, so next I have the waterproof temperature sensor. So this is the DS18B20. The benefit of this is it does have that waterproof enclosure. So you can use it in an exterior or in water. So you're trying to keep track of a water tank or any of these types of things. It does come with a resistor. So typically this would be a pull-up resistor since you have this simple 3-wire type connection. And again, this is how it comes. It comes bare like this. You can solder that into something, or you can use alligator clips to be able to interact with that. That certainly is, for the sake of prototyping, it does make it kind of nice just to, say, throw that bare wire, throw an alligator on it, and then you have access to be able to drop into other GPIO pins. But that is the extent of that sensor. Not a whole lot going there, but definitely a great, accurate way to do some higher temperature and more waterproof environments. Next, we have the Adafruit Feather RP2040 Scorpio. So this is another one's on the Feather line. This, again, I ordered it with these headers here. We'll open that up so we can take a closer look on that. So notice we do have all the interaction pins on the side, your GPIO pins, so essentially just we'll solder that all in here. And then we do have the ability to solder directly straight up, or our 90-degree pin set that comes in this directly onto this Feather chip. And again, the nice part about the standardization of Feather is the ability to simply interact directly with this. This will be our driver that we'll be using for our Neo LEDs, which should be quite exciting to get to experience that. Certainly a lot of fun can be done here. So this should be, again, the Adafruit KB2040. I think they call it the keyboard driver. So again, you do have all of these pins right here that you can interact with an LED array. And since we have this guy open, we'll pull in our next big one. This is one thing that I have never had before. So this is the NeoPixel RGBW 60 LED strip. What's fun about this is it does have that little bit of extra brightness to it, and then it does have the white directly included there. So this is what we have. Pulling that guy straight out of the bag. This is a very nice strip, and again, it does have all of these interface lines that will then directly attach to our driver. So we can then directly make a lot of different programs to make a lot of fun stuff happen on these. And again, this is the 60 LED per meter, and this is a 2-meter strip. So certainly a lot of fun projects that can be done there. Maybe just add for the sake of color on your robot, or just for the sake of experimenting. This might end up on a boat. We'll see how things go. Set those off the side. Then we have the Adafruit KB2040 again. Open this guy up. Another great little chip. Let's pull that. So I did have the headers on that as well. Very basic, very small unit. This is the RP2040 keyboard driver. It's going to be another great little chip to start doing some experiments with. And usually if I make an order, I just order a lot of things at once. This does have the USB-C type connection, where you see the USB-C on this one. With a lot of the older Feathers or some of the other models will have the old USB interface. It's just a matter of generations. So next here we have the Feather M0 LoRa. This is a 900 megahertz. We've been doing a lot of experiments with these and been able to manage a lot of long-range wireless communications over these devices. And the previous versions that we've gotten with these do have the older mini USB. Again, there we are. So we have the mini USB on this Feather. We have USB-C on this Feather. With this LoRa system, I did order the headers just for the sake of the experiments that I might want to do. Now, they do include these little stickers that have what looks like a MAC address on it, but it actually doesn't mean anything. Funny enough, I looked into that a while ago. This is our LoRa radio itself, and then you have the ability to either just solder an antenna directly on there, or we do have the very, very small interface for a antenna port if you wish to solder that on, and I know I do have another video of that on there for soldering that on there. Certainly an option, but for the sake of just prototyping, I typically go with the smaller, just base antennas. This is the ESP32 Feather with stacking headers. So I ordered this with stacking headers just for the sake of our prototypes. This is the first one of these Feathers that I've actually ever ordered. So this is the regular USB micro on here. This has a lot more computational power. Again, like I said, I did order it with the stacking headers on it. So you simply see the regular headers right there. You can pop into either the other board, or you can put it right into a breadboard. And then you have the ability to stack another Feather directly on that if you would like to do so. The next thing we have is the Inductive Charge Kit. This is also another first for us. This is the first time that I've ordered a wireless charge kit. Let's pop this guy open here. So this is the charge kit, so it should come with both the sender and the receiver. There we are. So in essence, anytime these coils are close together and interact with the same magnetic field, then we do have that inductive power transfer. Definitely a very fun aspect of that. Now, it is planar, so you can't interact with it like this. You have to have them both flat. It can be slightly offset, but ideally, if they're straight above one another, that is going to be our most ideal situation. Again, so this is the high current inductive charge kit. This does take a 5 volt 1.3 amp. There's a little bit of variance there depending on what your amperage is that you want, but again, the lower voltage or lower amperage that you give it, the closer these two have to be. But it's typically, I do believe it's a matter of 20 millimeters or so for allowing that inductive charging. So again, first time for those. That's going to be a fun experiment as well. And the last one we have is another Feather LoRa. So this is going to be the same as we did previously. Typically, like I said, if we order some of these, we might as well order more. They're not very expensive, so it's just a matter of having a nice, fun day to experiment. Again, so same thing. I did order the headers on this guy. This is another LoRa chip. Same as we've seen before, that same board that I did the soldering on. Another one of these Feather chips. These Feather chips are certainly great for development. Obviously great for prototyping. There's a lot of functionality here. Certainly looking forward to getting to work. So hopefully you learned something today. This is another great unboxing from Adafruit. Very excited to get going on some more prototypes or putting together some more sensory arrays, and looking forward to seeing what we can do. I'll be sure to include some more videos moving forward as we do experiments, especially with this GPS chip. That's a very exciting one to get going on. My name is Chris with Elevations. Like always, I hope you learned something today. Please like and subscribe below. Thank you for watching.